Hello friends, welcome to my channel Learning Electronics. I want to inform you that we have started a new channel for lectures in Hindi language. So if you want to see the videos in the Hindi language, then you can visit that channel and subscribe that channel for lectures in Hindi language, and the lectures in the English language will be uploaded in this channel of Learning Electronics, and the new channel name is Learning Electronics in Hindi, whose link will be provided in the description box below. So using that link you can go to that channel and subscribe that channel also. Please do subscribe this channel also, and also press the bell icon so that you can get more updated videos from here. In the last lecture, we have discussed absolutely stable control system. In this lecture, we are going to discuss unstable control system. Now let us see some important points related to stability of control system. The stability of linear control system is determined from the location of closed loop poles on S-plane. These closed loop poles are determined from the closed loop transfer function of the system, and we know that when denominator of the overall transfer function of the system is equated to 0, then the roots of that denominator equation will be the closed loop poles of the transfer function. The poles close to origin are called as dominant poles. Like for example, here one pole is at S is equal to -1 and another pole is at S is equal to -2. So according to the definition, this S is equal to -1 pole is near to the origin. Therefore, this is called as dominant pole. If the poles of the transfer function lie in the left half of the S-plane, then that type of system is called as stable system. So here we can see that both the poles, that is S is equal to -1 and S is equal to -2, lie in the left half of the S-plane. Therefore, this type of system is called as stable system. And if any one pole of the transfer function lie in the right half of the S-plane or right half of the j omega axis, then that type of system is called as unstable system. That means if all the poles of the transfer function are lying in the left half of the S-plane except one pole which is in the right half of the S-plane, then this type of system is called as unstable system because of this one pole lying in the right half of the S-plane. And if the repeated poles exist on the imaginary axis, then the system becomes unstable. This is the example of unstable system. Here we can see that two poles are lying on the same position on the imaginary axis. So such type of system is called as unstable system. And if non-repeated poles lie on the imaginary axis, then that system is called as marginally stable system or critically stable system. Like for example, here one pole is lying on the imaginary axis and here in the negative direction one pole is lying on the imaginary axis. Then this type of system is called as marginally stable system or critically stable system because of this non-repeated poles. If repeated poles is on the j omega axis, then that system is called as unstable system, and the pole distance from the imaginary axis in the left half of S-plane finds the relative stability of the system. Like for example, one system has pole at S is equal to -5 and another system has a pole at S is equal to -1. So here we can see that the distance of the pole of the system number 1 from the origin is more as compared to the distance of the pole of system number 2. So because the system number 1's pole is far away from the origin as compared to system number 2 pole, the stability of system 1 is greater than the stability of system number 2. That means the system number 1 is more relatively stable as compared to system number 2 because its pole is far away from the origin as compared to system number 2's pole. Now we will discuss bounded and unbounded signals. Bounded signals holds a finite value of maxima and minima. That means the minimum value of bounded signal will be finite and maximum value of bounded signal will also be finite. So if the maximum and minimum of any signal is finite, then all the other values between maximum and minimum will also be be finite. These are the examples of bounded signal. So here we can see that the minimum value of this signal exists at t is equal to 0, which is equal to 0, and maximum value of the signal exists at t tends to infinity, which is equal to 1. So here we can see that the minimum and maximum value of this signal is finite, therefore this is a bounded signal. And in this signal also minimum value exists at t tends to infinity, which is equal to 0, and maximum value exists at t is equal to 0, which is equal to 1. Therefore, both these signals are examples of bounded signals because they have finite value of maxima and minima. And unbounded signals holds a infinite value at any instant of time. These are the examples of unbounded signals. Here we can see that the minimum value of this signal is equal to 0, but maximum value is not defined. It can go up to infinity. And in this signal also minimum value is equal to 1, but maximum value can go up to infinity. And this is a ramp signal. Here also the maximum value is not fixed or not finite. Therefore, this is also example of unbounded signals. So the systems which produce unbounded signals when bounded signal is given as input is called as unstable control systems. Now let us see some important points related to unstable systems. First is unstable systems always produces unbounded output for bounded input. That means if we apply bounded input to the unstable system, then they always produce unbounded output signal. When the poles of the transfer function lie in the right half of the S-plane, then that type of system is called as unstable system. As I have told you earlier, that if any one pole of the transfer function lies in the right half of the S-plane, then the system becomes unstable system. Third point is that unstable system always shows some output in absence of input. That means if we are not applying any input to the system, then also the unstable system shows some output signal. Unstable system never reaches to steady state because the unstable systems produces either exponentially increasing signals at the output or oscillations of increasing amplitude are produced by unstable system. Next is definition of unstable control system. A linear time invariant system, that means LTI system, is said to be unstable if first point, for bounded input it produces unbounded output which is uncontrollable. That means the unstable system produces unbounded output signal when bounded input is applied to it and the output is always uncontrollable. Second point, in absence of input, the output may not return to 0, that is, it shows certain output without input. Then such type of system is called as unstable control system. Now let us take one example to understand the unstable control system. Let us assume that the overall transfer function of a system Cs by Rs is equal to 10 divided by S minus 2 into S plus 4. Now if we want to find the poles from this transfer function, then we have to equate the denominator of this transfer function, that is S minus 2 into S plus 4 equal to 0. The roots of this equation will be the poles of the transfer function. Therefore, we will get S is equal to plus 2 and minus 4. So these are the poles of this transfer function, and if we plot these poles on the S plane, we will get S is equal to plus 2 here in the right half of the S plane, and in the left half of the S plane S is equal to minus 4 will exist. So here we can see that as one of the pole, that is S is equal to plus 2, is lying in the right half of the S plane, this system is unstable system. Now let us assume that we are applying a unit step input to the system. Then the Laplace transform of unit step input Rs will be equal to 1 by S. Now we will put Rs is equal to 1 by S in this equation. We will get Cs is equal to 10 divided by S into S plus 2 into S plus 4. Now we will apply partial fraction method to this equation. We will get Cs is equal to A by S plus b by s minus 2 plus c by s plus 4. When we find out the values of a, b and c, we will get a is equal to minus 1.25, b is equal to 0.833 and c is equal to 0.416. When we put the values of a, b and c in this equation, we will get cs is equal to minus 1.25 divided by s plus 0.833 divided by s minus 2 plus 0.416 divided by s plus 4. Now we will take inverse Laplace transform of this equation, then we will get output response Ct is equal to minus 1.25 plus 0.833 into e to the power 2t plus 0.416 into e to the power minus 4t. So from this equation of output response, we can see that this equation has one exponent term with positive index, that is 2t. So because of this term only, the output of the system will not reach to its steady state. Now we will see how this is happening. We know that the output response of a control system is equal to steady state response CSS and transient response CTT. So here the steady state response CSS is equal to minus 1.25 and this part of the equation of CT is equal to transient response, which is equal to 0.833 into e to the power 2t plus 0.416 into e to the power minus 4t. Now when t tends to infinity, when we will put t is equal to infinity in this equation, this term becomes 0 because e to the power minus infinity is equal to 0. But when we put t is equal to infinity in this term, then we will get infinity only. That means the transient response CTT will be equal to infinite we will get. So when we put the value of CTT in this equation, we will get CT is equal to minus 1.25 plus infinity, which is equal to infinity again. That means if in the output response there exists a term with exponent of positive index like this, then the output response becomes infinity as t tends to infinity. So from this example, we can see that as the output becomes infinity, t tends to infinity, this type of system is called as unstable control system. Next, we will see the output responses of unstable system and their pole zero plot. So in this diagram, one pole is existing in the right half of S plane. So for such type of pole diagram, we have the output response like this. And second is when complex conjugate poles exist in the right half of S plane, then the output will be oscillation with increasing amplitude. And third signal is when one pole is lying in the negative j omega axis and two repeated poles lying on the positive j omega axis, then the response of the system will look like this. It will be oscillations of increasing amplitude. Therefore it is a unstable system because of presence of this repeated poles on the same position on the j omega axis. Next response is here we can see that two repeated poles are lying on the origin. Okay, so because of these two poles lying on the origin, this is the example of unstable system, and the response of such type of system will look like this. Now we solve some examples to understand how to find out the system is stable or not. First example is the overall transfer function Cs by Rs is equal to 10 divided by S minus 2 into S minus 4 is given. To find out the poles of this transfer function, we have to equate this denominator of this transfer function to 0. Therefore, we will get s minus 2 into s minus 4 is equal to 0. From here, we will get s is equal to 2 and s is equal to 4. So, these are the poles of this transfer function. Now, we will plot these poles on the s plane. Here, s is equal to plus 2 will exist, and here the s is equal to plus 4 will exist, as both the poles of the transfer function, that is s is equal to plus 2 and s is equal to plus 4, exist in the right half of the S plane. This system is a unstable system. Next example is Cs by Rs is equal to 10 divided by s plus 2 into s square minus s plus 2 is given. Now we have to equate this denominator equal to 0 to find out the poles of this transfer function. So first pole will exist at s is equal to minus 2, and for other poles we have to equate this s square minus s plus 2 is equal to 0. When we apply the formula of roots of quadratic equation, we will get s is equal to 1 plus minus root 3j whole divided by 2. This will be equal to 1 by 2 plus minus root 3 by 2j. Now we will plot these poles on the S plane. We will get first pole at S is equal to minus 2, and this will be plus 1 by 2 point. So we will get this will be plus root 3 by 2, and this will be minus root 3 by 2 points. As we are getting complex conjugate poles are lying in the right half of the S plane, even though this one pole is lying in the left half of the S plane, this system is a unstable system. Next example is Cs by Rs is equal to 1 upon s square is given. So to find out the poles of this transfer function, we have to equate this s square is equal to 0. So we'll get s is equal to 0 comma 0. That means two poles will exist at the origin. So because of these two repeated poles at the origin, this system is a unstable system. And last example is Cs by Rs is equal to 10 divided by s square plus 1 whole square is given. So to find out the poles of this transfer function, we have to equate this s square plus 1 whole square equal to 0. So first equation will be s square plus 1 is equal to 0, and second equation will be s square plus 1 is equal to 0. So when we solve both this equation, we will get from this equation s is equal to plus minus j, and from here also we will get s is equal to plus minus j. When we plot these poles on the S plane, we will get this type of plot. So here we can see that this is j comma j and this is minus j comma minus j. So because of repeated poles existing on the imaginary axis, this is a example of unstable system. So hope you have understood the topic. In the next class we will discuss the marginally stable system. Thank you very much for watching, and please do subscribe my channel for more updates.